Good morning. Let me see. Put the scripture in too early, so I don't know if it's going to show up. There we go. So, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Take my earbuds out. Going ahead, jumping in. There's nobody here yet, but I've got a full day at work, and so I want to make sure that I can spend the time here that we need to spend together and then get out of here to work. So, good morning. There's someone here. Good morning to you. Have a very basic word today, but I've had to keep sharing the same word with myself. So, I wanted to share it with you, a very familiar scripture or passage. Good morning, Sister Vanessa. A very familiar scripture or passage. And Sister Vanessa, you'll know we hear this every day. This is Deb's scripture. Philippians, the 4th chapter, the 13th verse. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And that's what I have had to be speaking and declaring to myself. As some of you know, had some physical challenges on this weekend. Today is a big day at work. Students are coming back into the building. So today is one of those days at work that I need to be there. And I wasn't at the physical point of calling in sick, but still just like, oh. And what I realized for myself is sometimes we do the scripture like we do people in our lives. And sometimes we allow the scripture to become almost too familiar. And it becomes so familiar to me. Good morning, Tarsha. Sometimes the scripture becomes almost so familiar to you that you take it for granted. The scripture becomes so familiar that you don't really continue to appreciate its value. And so a scripture like Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I have heard it since my childhood. I've been teaching it to my children, saying it to my children. But sometimes if we're not careful, it becomes so familiar that you almost put it on the back burner. And so for me, it's a wonderful feeling when good morning, there's a Facebook user, it does not tell me your name, but good morning to you. Good morning, my Iris. When we have you ever been, and I know all of us have, but sometimes you're spending time in the word, or sometimes when I'm on prayer line, and I'll hear somebody quote a scripture that I don't know, or that's new to me, or that I've never heard. And it feels like it takes on this whole new revelation. And I'm like, oh, where is that? And then I go look it up and I start studying it, and I start reading and getting into it. And it's like, yay, I got this new scripture that has just changed my life. But what God dealt with me this morning is there are scriptures that feel so basic, but they ring so true. So for me, something as simple as, hey, good morning, cousin Daphne. Thank you for Tasha for telling me who that was. Good morning, cousin Daphne. But for me, something as basic, and I don't want to use the word simple, but as basic as I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me, had to take on a new level of complexity, had to take on a new sense of, it's like, and you all know I'm big for examples. So at Christmas time, every kid has experienced this. If you're a parent or have nieces and nephews, you've watched them do it. They'll have their toys they play with. And these are my favorite toys until Christmas when I get new toys. And now those other toys go on the back burner. So your good morning wake up challenge today is find a scripture that feels old, that feels comfortable. You ever had those? Now we're just the opposite with certain clothes. Like you get house shoes and they feel comfortable. So I don't want to break in new ones. Aha, is anybody still there? Let me know if you're still there. I got a message saying that my internet was getting unstable. It looks like there are people still there. So just for the sake of, because I don't feel like fighting with this internet today and I got to get to work. So that's your good morning wake up challenge. Find your, okay, wonderful. Thank you. Because I was just, before it was giving me all kind of issues and I was going to jump off. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. But that's our word for today. And if you need to share mine, you can share mine. I can do all things. There we go. All right. It's going to kick me out again. Good morning, Fluky. I'm going to go ahead and jump out before it kicks me out again. You can go back and listen to it from the top. That's your good morning wake up challenge. You can do all things, whatever you got to do today.